Hi, I'm Simone Shemshedini. I'm the orchard coordinator for the Philadelphia Orchard Project. Although we sometimes imagine that growing fruit is as simple as planting a tree and coming back year after year to harvest, applying organic sprays may sometimes be needed to ensure good production. Holistic sprays are recommended to boost overall fruit tree health, and other sprays may be used to help manage specific pests and diseases. POP recommends the use of holistic sprays like Compost Tea and Neem Oil to boost the health of orchard plants and help make them more resilient to growing challenges. Holistic and organic sprays. Although spraying gets a bad rap from the overuse of harsh chemicals in industrial agriculture, organic orchard sprays can also be an important part of the ecological orchard toolkit. However, even if we do everything right with ecological orchard care, including proper pruning, companion planting, and supporting soil health, most of the common pome and stone fruits will at some point have pest or disease challenges that require some intervention to manage good health and yield. There are a variety of other more targeted organic sprays available that may be useful to manage specific pests and disease outbreaks. Before we get into the specifics of different spray options, there are some basic recommendations to consider before any application. You will of course need a sprayer. For small orchards of just a few trees, a 1 or 2 gallon handheld sprayer may be enough. For anything bigger than that, a 3 to 4 gallon backpack sprayer is recommended, and large orchards may want to invest in additional equipment beyond that. You may also need more than one sprayer if you will be applying multiple types of sprays. Morning or evening application is generally recommended. Spraying in the heat of day can scald leaves and stress a tree. Pollinators are also less active at these times, and for this reason, you also want to avoid spraying while trees are in full bloom. For more targeted sprays, precise timing is often required to successfully manage a specific pest or disease. Follow directions. Always read and follow the label. Mix and apply at the recommended rate, wear protective gear when advised, and follow all other instructions. Holistic sprays. We recommend that everyone incorporate holistic sprays into their orchard care routine. These sprays work preventatively, boosting both plant health and the ecosystems that support them, and therefore increasing resilience to pest and disease pressures. Compost tea. Compost tea uses high-quality compost as an inoculant to improve the health and productivity of orchard trees. It can be used throughout the season, with its effect shifting based on timing. Early spring applications of compost tea as a soil drench are used to boost orchard soil life and fertility, resulting in healthier, more resilient, and productive fruit trees. Foliar applications throughout the spring can provide further nutrient boosts and possibly aid in colonizing leaves and branches with beneficial microbes that may outcompete disease-causing fungi and bacteria. Late fall applications after most leaves have dropped help to speed decomposition of fallen leaves and fruit, thus reducing the amount of disease pathogens remaining for the next year. To make compost tea, you need high-quality compost in a mesh bag, dechlorinated water, a 5-gallon bucket, and an aeration device. Blackstrap molasses is needed to feed the microorganisms in the brew. Fish emulsion, humic acid, kelp powder, and mycorrhizal fungi spores can also be added to improve microorganism diversity and nutrient content. If you are using chlorinated tap water, it is imperative to either let the water sit uncovered for 2 days or run your aeration device and let it tumble the water for 6 hours before adding the compost. Fish tank dechlorination drops can also be used in a pinch. Otherwise, the chlorine can kill off certain beneficial organism populations before you even begin. During the brew, the compost bag should rest on the surface of the water during the aeration period. Any other ingredients should be added directly to the water. Vigorously aerate water for 12 to 16 hours. You can use an aquarium bubbler with water stones or a specific aeration device used for compost tea brewing. The aeration keeps the water oxygenated, which promotes the multiplying of beneficial microorganisms and limits harmful microorganisms. Transfer tea into a sprayer. Dilute 50-50 with additional dechlorinated water and use within 6 hours. Note that larger orchards will probably want to use a larger compost tea brewer. Pop commonly uses a 50-gallon brewer, but even larger equipment can be made or purchased. Effective microbes and biofungicides. Like compost tea, effective microbes and biofungicides are holistic spray options that support health and boost the immune system of plants. Effective microbes are an inoculant used to improve soil structure and drainage, promote plant health and growth, boost nutrient absorption, speed up decomposition, and increase soil fertility. The patented product EM1 came out of Japan in the 1960s and comes in a fermented liquid form, a highly potent mix of several bacterial strains and other microorganisms. Many iterations of effective microbes are available on the market, and it is also possible to make your own batch by fermenting a starch with blackstrap molasses in water or milk. For best results, small weekly doses of effective microbes can be applied to your orchard year-round. At minimum, it is recommended that you spray effective microbes in spring and fall with similar timing and effect as compost tea. In the spring to boost soil life, nutrition, and plant immunity, and in the fall to help with speedy decomposition of fallen leaves. Mix 2 tablespoons of EM1 per gallon of water in your sprayer. Ideally, you want to do an even coverage of the soil at the base of the tree trunk and branches, but if you don't have the time or ability to do that, no need to fret. Even just adding it on the lower portion of the tree and the surrounding soil will help your tree. Make sure to store your effective microbes out of direct sunlight at room temperature. Biofungicides are a relatively new type of organic spray that help plants resist fungal diseases. Serenade is a spray composed of a natural soil-based bacteria, which outcompetes pathogens and enhances the plant's immune response. It is usually applied in spring, either by itself or in combination with other holistic sprays. Regalia is a biofungicide derived from giant knotweed. It strengthens cell walls and enhances the plant's immune system. Both of these products can help boost resistance to common orchard diseases like fire blight, leaf scab, brown rot, and mildew. Neem oil is a vegetable oil derived from the neem tree, native to India. While it has many uses, in the orchard, it is prized for its damage-preventing ability to boost the tree's immune system, deter chewing insects like aphids and mites, suppress molting of certain pests including codling moth and plum curculio, and smother overwintering insect eggs, including mites, aphids, scale, and pear psylla. Neem oil is sold in a concentrated solution and should be mixed with water to the label's specifications. Always start by adding the water, then the neem, and finish by adding a small amount of liquid soap as an emulsifier to keep the oil and water from separating during application. Spray in early morning on all parts of the tree trunk, branches, and leaves, but avoid spraying any open flowers. Thoroughly wet both sides of leaves with your neem oil spray to ensure full coverage. It can be used preventatively by reapplying every 7 to 10 days. Any oil, including neem oil, can be used as a dormant oil spray in winter to smother overwintering eggs. Mix with water at twice the neem concentration that is recommended when using as dormant oil. And don't forget the liquid soap emulsifier. Aim for complete coverage of the trunk and branches in late winter or early spring, before bud break when temperatures are above freezing and the forecast is clear of rain for several days. Targeted sprays. Whereas POP universally recommends the use of holistic sprays to support optimal orchard health and resilience, there are other more targeted organic sprays available that may be used to help manage specific pest and disease challenges. Again, the goal in an ecological orchard is not to eliminate all pests and diseases, but it is good to be aware of our options if we experience significant crop damage. It is important to regularly monitor the orchard and properly identify challenges in order to know what spray might be helpful. Most organic sprays do not require an applicator license, but it is again very important to follow all directions and safety precautions. Organic sprays can still be harsh and toxic if improperly applied. Consider drift. Avoid windy conditions and consider what else is nearby. Be aware that different sprays also break down in the environment and at different rates. Keep people out of a space or post signage when needed. Each spray has a different pre-harvest interval, so think about the time between when you spray and when the yield will be harvested. For the targeted organic sprays, precise timing to specific pest and disease life cycles is also required. Repeat applications may also be necessary, especially after rains, and varying different types of sprays may improve management of some challenges. The following sprays may sometimes be used for control of specific growing challenges. Kaolin clay is sold under the name Surround. This non-toxic spray forms a physical barrier of tiny clay particles that repel many insect pests, including plum curculio, oriental fruit moth, and codling moth. Applied in the spring, and repeat applications are advised. Bt is a naturally occurring bacteria that attacks caterpillar species only and does not harm any other family of insects. This spray may be used for control of oriental fruit moth, codling moth, tent caterpillars, and more. Nematodes are microscopic worms, some of which can parasitize insects. Specific species of nematodes can be sprayed to help control pests, including borers, Japanese beetles, and plum curculio. Spinosad is another naturally occurring bacteria that operates on contact to control a broad spectrum of insects, including sawflies, maggot flies, and oriental fruit moth. Pyrethrin is a broad-spectrum organic insecticide derived from a species of chrysanthemum flowers. It can be sprayed for control of many insect pests, including aphids, stink bugs, and parasillas. Copper sulfur sprays are the most effective organic fungicide available. These mined minerals are commonly sprayed in organic orchards for control of diseases like brown rot, peachleaf curl, mildews, and more. However, they are very harsh to other microorganisms, require protective gear, and are best used as a last resort in the case of severe crop losses. To recap, holistic sprays are recommended to proactively build the health and resilience of orchard plants. Other more targeted organic sprays are available to help manage specific outbreaks of pests and disease challenges as needed.